Good evening and welcome to Starfire Sports Stadium. It's a beautiful last few days of August evening. Seattle Sounders 2 playing host to the Tulsa Roughnecks, a game with a lot of playoff implications. Hello everybody, I'm Aaron Heinzen. He's Andrew Harvey. Andrew, it's time to start to talk about the playoff story. We're coming down to the very end of the season. This is a big one tonight.
Yeah, Jim Mora would not be happy if we were talking about the playoffs, but it's getting to be that time. Just a couple games left in the season. We're into single digits now, and things are really tight in the Western Conference, Aaron. Let's take a look at the conference standings right here. You can see there 8 points separating Sacramento Republic from Rio Grande Valley. That is not a lot of wiggle room. Forgive me, 7 points. It's even tighter than I thought. And just, you're getting to a point now where all these games matter. All of S2's remaining games are against teams that are right in this bubble zone. So every time you win, you do really good things for your ability to make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Very, very important tonight. And as you mentioned, Tulsa Roughnecks, beginning of a Pacific Northwest sweep. They'll go here, they'll go to Vancouver, they go to the Timbers, and then they move on from there. So Timbers 2, Vancouver Whitecaps 2, both kind of struggling. This is a big opening game for Tulsa.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounders 2 has definitely been the toughest nut to crack for every team that's gone on one of these Cascadia sweeps through the region, and it's a tall order for Tulsa to try to get on the road.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get to the host team right now, Tulsa Roughnecks. They got a big guy on the field offensively for them tonight, Joey Calistri.
Yeah, Joey Calistri, he's on loan from the Chicago Fire. 7 goals, 2 assists this season. He plays out on that right wing. That's where we expect to see him tonight. Listen, he serves in a good cross, he shoots the ball well, and he links up with his attacking midfielders when they're trying to get that 4-2-3-1 going up the field. He causes a lot of problems, and I don't think he'll do anything different tonight.
For the host side, Seattle Sounders 2, a guy that's been consistently offensive all season long, none other than Zach Mathers.
Absolutely. Listen, Zach Mathers was not a regular part of this team early on, but he came in, he started scoring goals like this one, and after a while Ezra Hendrickson says, listen, I know the first team wants you, but I want you on my lineup. Look at this here against Rio Grande Valley. Total confidence from outside the area. Zach Mathers is flying at full steam here. This is against Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Has the audacity to slide tackle the opposing team's goalkeeper because he knows when you're an attacking player, you get into a good run of form, good things just keep happening to you, and they have been. 9 goals for him this season.
Well, of course, Sounders 2, big game tonight, as we mentioned. Real quick about their back line. Of course, Seattle Sounders, it's international break right now with the U.S. national team. One guy that does not need to worry about that, Mr. Jordy DeLem, gets the start at right back tonight.
Benefit of being a Kanaifa nation, he can bring a lot of weapons. He'll be excellent and bring a lot of pace to that right back spot for Sounders 2.
Absolutely. And the other comment I want to make, the Australian 21-year-old gets his break tonight, his first start debut, Stephen White from Australia.
Yeah, linking up. Former S2 assistant coach John Hutchinson brought him over. They knew each other back there. He came from Central Coast Mariners Academy. Might have been a bit of a mix-up about which Mariners he was headed to or what team in Seattle, but he's here now, and I know that S2 and Ezra are happy to have him.
Sounders 2 hosting Tulsa Roughnecks tonight. There's a 4-point difference between these two teams. S2 looking to get over that line into the top 8 and make the playoffs. They've got 8 games left this season to do it. 4 at home, 4 away. Tulsa Roughnecks, 9 for them. They start their 3-game road trip now before they head back. Then they have to play Oklahoma City. Then they start hosting again. It's going to be a real tight matchup. Looking forward to it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the beauty of soccer this time of the year. You know, the whole regular season, it's always fun to watch. It's always exciting. But once you get into these last 7, 8, 9 games and the playoff picture is really starting to take shape, you have guys with Excel spreadsheets going, all right, well, they can still make the playoffs if X, Y, Z happens. You know, for Sounders 2, for Ezra Hendrickson, it's pretty easy. Same thing for Tulsa. Just keep winning matches, keep getting 3 points, and you're going to get to a point where you control your own destiny in relation to that little red line.
2 guys that are actually not unfamiliar with this area for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Of course, the guy starting on the side, Mr. Rivas tonight, and Brady Ballou also in the starting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Joaquin Rivas, a member of the Kitsap Pumas in 2014, team that went to the PDL championship game, didn't win it. Brian Meredith in goal for S2 did with Kitsap Pumas back in 2011, and Brady Ballou, also a local product.
That's going to be an interesting game. Seattle Sounders 2 have never beaten the Tulsa Roughnecks. We take a look at their history. They had a home and away series in 2015, and then they came up here last year and put 2 goals past Sounders 2 early on in the season. Former Sounder player Sammy Ochoa was able to do that, so S2 looking for a little bit of revenge tonight.
Absolutely, and what better time to do it than when you're 4 points below the red line and trying to get hot and go on what would be a 3-game winning streak if they pull off the victory at home tonight.
And just a little bit talking about the Sounders schedules here, Andrew. Sounders play 8 games left, as I mentioned before. 5 of those games are teams that are within 4 points of them. How big is this game tonight for them against Tulsa to get those points, to get off a starting spot as we wind down towards the end of the season?
You go on to a strong stretch against Cascadia with T2 and Whitecaps too. Now you got to do it against competition that are really going to push you for those final spots going into the playoffs.
Sounders 2 versus Tulsa. We'll have kickoff and lineups after this.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back, Starfire Sports Stadium. National anthem's just finished. The two teams getting ready to choose their sides. Let's go right into the starting lineups first here for Tulsa Roughnecks.
Well, you see it here. We talked about Joaquin Rivas. We talked about Joey Kalister, who we expect to see on that white ring. Pavel Kondrakin is up top, but really the guy to watch for me is Francisco Ugarte. He's playing center back tonight and doing that instead of Modu Jadama, who's out on, well, a yellow card suspension after picking up 2 in 8 minutes in their last time out against St. Louis.
And for the Sounders, too, tonight we spoke a little bit about their back line. How about that front start there?
Listen, Felix Chankum is in good form. He's got 5 goals to his name this season with Zach Mathers right behind him. And that combination, Charles Rankin on the right, David Olson on the left. There's a lot of good things happening out here. Not to mention, keep an eye on Ray Sari. He went to the University of Tulsa. Might be a bit of a grudge match for feeling like he got overlooked in his own backyard.
Absolutely, Andrew. And, of course, Ray Sari probably knows a few players out there. And Callum Malice is joining him for the first time. It's not the Ray Sari, Francisco Narbone. Narbone, of course, on the bench tonight. But our officials here, our referee is Jeff Arthur-Holtz, Cephas Quartzen, Chuck Spaniola. The assistant referees, and our fourth official tonight is Raymond Mendez. A couple of men that are familiar with USL games. So as mentioned, though, Callum Malice just picked up by Sounders and had one substitute appearance against Timbers 2 in that game they had a couple weeks ago, but gets his first start tonight. Yeah,
you know, it's every time you're brought into the fold in a new organization, if they can, they like to run you out in a situation where you can get some minutes, see what you're made of, and kind of get a sense of where you're going to fit into the organization as a player and how your style matches up.
Malice, long time, a lot of experience, was drafted by Montreal, met with them this last season, was picked up by the Sounders in early August. Now here he is in the starting 11 today with Sounders 2. S2 in the going from left to right in their rave green. Tulsa Roughnecks in that all gray outfit. As we mentioned, we talked about the playoffs. This is a big one as we come down towards the last little bit of the season. About a month and a half left to play. How big is this early start for them?
Oh, it's going to be huge. You know, this Tulsa team has caused problems for teams that have failed to put them away early in matches throughout the season. So S2 wants to have a good start, but bigger for that from Ezra Hendrickson's side is what he wants to see is he knows what the implications are for the playoffs. He wants these players to develop, get that experience, and fight their way to a playoff spot.
And we are underway here as Jeff Arthur-Holtz blows the whistle. Malice gets his first touch on the ball. Up to Charles Rankin. This pass is cut out. Tulsa will have their first possession. Tyr Young gets away from him, back to Malice. Jordy DeLem. one's going to go long by Brian Meredith. Again, it's another team tonight, as we saw in the Whitecaps FC2 game a couple of weeks ago, with a bit more experience than we've seen in S2 lineups earlier in the summer.
Well, I think it's symptomatic of, you know, these are the players who are really the priority A1 to develop right now. Maybe these guys aren't quite fit for regular first team minutes, but you're hopeful that they can be in 12 months, in 18 months. So when the season's on the line, these are the guys you want to put out there, get them these minutes. Your academy kids, it's great to bring them along when you can, but you know, you're going to have them for a long time.
S2 looking to get 3 points tonight. Felix Jankum tracking already. Stumbling on the ball a little bit there is Bradley Bourgeois, but potential call for a foul, so Jankum lets off.
And as you mentioned, Bourgeois, a teammate of Ray Sari's at the University of Tulsa. Overlapped for 3 of their 4 years there.
Always an extra bit of competition when you find a teammate from college days. There's Jankum. That touch just gets away from him, and he's called for a foul. Again, another man who's been injured for a long part of the season and now returned. Only 11 appearances, but 5 goals. Pretty good payoff.
Absolutely. You know, when they brought him over from Rainbow FC in Cameroon, they were hoping certainly that he'd be able to contribute more than he has this season, but the minutes he has put in have all been good ones for Seattle. And I think they're still very excited about what's to come for Felix Jankum.
Tulsa with a bit of possession here, looking to go right over the top. It's Tyrion going through. Jeff Arthur Holt says Brian Nonasinkum stepped in front of Tyrion. It's going to be a foul and a big chance here for Tulsa.
I can't really pass judgment on this one at first blush. It certainly looked like that was going to be beyond Tyrion's run. Take another look at it here. I have a tough time seeing Tyrion getting to that one. Is it technically obstruction? Yes, but when he's that far away from the ball, ordinarily you see a referee let that go.
Yeah, could it just be perhaps Nonasinkum raised the elbow away from his body or something that Jeff Arthur Holtz gave him the call. So free kick here for Tulsa. Currently 3 guys standing over it. Find out who the real deal is here. One of them is Pavel Kondrakin. The other one is Jamie Ayala. Kondrakin, just 7 appearances this year. He's yet to open his account. It is going to be Kondrakin through the wall and just around the near post. That's not the best wall we've seen.
Take a look at this. The back wall here needs to get on the same page, figure out who's doing what. Callum Malice turns to the side, and listen, I know you don't want to catch that one directly in the stomach, but when you're in the wall, that is your job.
That's true. Malice let that one by. Fortunately, just wide for Sounders 2. Still 0-0 here. First look at Stephen White, looking to leave that for David Olson. S2 are away. Mathers draws a foul. That was one thing that Sounders 2 had highlighted. There were a lot of young players. Christian Kuntz, the 15-year-old, filled in at left back position for 6 games or so. Nonasinkum was out there. If Rodriguez L was able to slot into the center back position. Here's Charles Rankin on the right. Puts it across. Jankum. Malice. Touch gets away from him. Kondrakin looking to settle it. Nonasinkum pulls him away and has it back for S2. Mathers in the gap. Slots it out wide to Jankum. Back again. It's going to be a corner kick for S2, first of the match.
That's great movement and good decision by Mathers to lay off that initial ball to Callum Malice. And you can see here, this is the second option when he goes outside to Charles Rankin. Still, early positives as S2's winding up for their first corner of the match.
A little more height in that midfield, too, with Callum Malice in the starting 11. 6'1". Ball's whipped in by Mathers. It's going to skip past everybody. Steve White picks it up. Nonasinkum has to go all the way back to Meredith. Good pressure from Tulsa. S2 will reset. So I was mentioning about Steve White. You said in the pregame, Andrew. Good ball from Meredith. We'll have to talk about Steve here again in a second. Here comes S2. Mathers puts it into Jankum. Gives it back to him. Mathers, left-footed shot. Good combination, but straight at Fabian Cerda. No problem for the Chilean. Now I suppose I can say something. Sorry, Andrew.
Yeah, well, it's a good problem to have. Stephen White keeps denying you the opportunity to talk about him because he keeps doing positive things out on the field.
Well, the Australian, as you mentioned before, John Hutchinson, the assistant coach at S2, got in talks with his old club, Central Coast Mariners in Australia, and brought him over. As I mentioned, Christian Coots had been in there, Nana Sinkum, but they didn't have anybody after the departure of Nuhu Tolo to the first team last year. Never had anybody really to fill in on that spot. Didn't make it easier with Denzo Ulysses, the right back, getting injured.
Yeah, both him and Rodrigue L kind of got injured almost simultaneously, really. Both happened off the field, and the club has really missed them for long stretches this season.
S2 have a free kick. Mathers takes it quickly, but Jeff Arthur Holtz waiting for David Olson to get his shoe sorted. Well, speaking of the left back spot, Nuhu Tolo getting his big call up this week for Cameroon.
Yeah, you know, your first international call-up has always got to be the most special one, the first time they deem you worthy. He worked with the U20s, but it's got to be a big motivator for his former Rainbow FC teammates here, guys like Guy Edouard, Felix Chankum, and also for Steve White. Hey, we had this left back. He played for the first team for a while, then got called up for his national team.
Mathers with the free kick. It's going to bounce, go straight. Serda didn't make the catch initially. Jordi Delem was there, but Serda recovers.
I love that instinct from Jordi Delem. Even though it looks like the keeper has it, you can never be certain. And if you have the pace to get back, if they try to play it quickly, apply that pressure. Sometimes if a man comes for an extra step or two, goalkeepers get a little bit jittery.
That's two. Looking calm and possessed right now. Creating a few chances. Malice going to pick that up off Meredith. Nana Sinkum gets his pass wrong. Throw in deep in S2 territory for Tulsa. Crowd not happy with something. Ball's back to Malice. One out by Sari, of course. White goes long with it. Past everybody. Serda's there. Nice touch from him to avoid Schenkum. Kind of a dodgy pass in the middle there. Rankin with some pressure.
Let's not forget, this is how S2 scored almost all their goals against Vancouver Whitecaps, too, in their last home match, a 3-0 win. They have done a great job in the later portion of the season of trying to establish consistent downfield pressure. There's some trouble on the near sideline with the ball boys. It's twice now. Ball snuck over the touchline. Someone will be getting a talking to at halftime.
Ball boys need to practice just a little bit more. White does well to pick out David Olson. Got two on him. Olson gets his cross away, and it's knocked out for a second corner for S2. Positive stuff so far from Sounders 2. And a nice break. Last match was down in Portland on the 17th of August. That was a 2-1 victory. 2 victories in a row now for S2. Mathers clips this one long and high at the edge of the 18. It's headed away. White again sends it back in. Looking for Nana Sinkum. It's falling for Rankin on the right-hand side. He's got space. Charles Rankin. Still going, has Delem in support. Delem, he whips this one in. Schenkum's there, gets a piece of it. Tulsa clears again. Ray Sari. Malice. S2 look lively. Mathers looking to find Schenkum, but again, Tulsa will clear and reset.
Credit to Tulsa. Sounders have been lively. They've been energetic. They've been moving around so far. Not always the easiest thing to defend, but they've held steady, and there's always a man right at the back shoulder whenever a ball is played forward.
Rankin found Jordi Delem. Excellent ball. Jordi Delem, cross in front of the middle. Can't get there. Saved by Serda off of Olson. Malice picks it up. Back to White. Ray Sari goes all the way to switch it again. Rankin now to Nana Sinkum. Nice passing in from S2 to get out of pressure, and they'll switch it again through Sam Rogers. Rogers with space. Olson. He'll turn and go at Tulsa. Tyr Young defending. Olsen turns it back to Ray Sari. Now Nanasinkum. Tulsa so deep at the moment. Nanasinkum. Just Jordy DeLem it outran that. Charles Rankin didn't know he'd gone. Throwing for Tulsa. Andrew, how long can Tulsa withstand this pressure before something dangerous for them happens?
Well, you know, it's a situation that S2 has known a couple times this season. You do so many things right for forever, and then you just make that one mistake. As long as your opponent's there to capitalize, you'll have issues. For the moment, I think Tulsa might be kind of running a little bit thin here.
You're right. Sounders, too, have started games so fast and so furious, only to find themselves down a goal after a mistake is made. Nice work by Sam Rogers to win that one. Malice. Good switch from Rogers all the way over to Jordy DeLem. He's got Rankin in space. Ball was cut out, though, by Corrales. Good defensive work by Corrales. Malice again, operating high on that left-hand side. Chip in. This ball set by Chenka. It's going to be cleared away by Ayala. Nanasinkum, big header all the way back to Brian Meredith. Tulsa so far struggling to get out of their half with possession. S2 have it again. 12th minute here at Starfire Sports Stadium. A nice evening, no wind, good temperature. Lem. Very sorry, great ball for him. Malice in space. Tries to get around the defender. Tulsa win it back. Rivas. Cross sent in, it's a good one. Calistri. 7 goals so far this season, Calistri. Looks to put it back in, it's a run, excellent run. From Colin Fernandez, another man. The Chicago Fire lineup. On loan to Tulsa.
That was a promising looking counterattack for Tulsa there. It looked like things were really going to go their way, but in the end, it was the service was the letdown. Managed to find Calistri at the back post, but just couldn't drop it soon enough for him. Floated maybe 2 yards too far, and at this level, that's all it really takes.
I think it's fair to say we see what Tulsa's plan is. Maybe just sit back, take the pressure for a little while, and then counterattack when you can. Hopefully things open up later for them.
That's two looking to do a little bit of countering of their own, Aaron.
Mathers just can't pick it up from Rankin. A little bit behind him. Here comes Tulsa. Sam Rogers. Tulsa go backwards. Good pressure from the center back, Sam Rogers. Tulsa head coach David Vaudril. It's his first season here with Tulsa Roughnecks. Looking to get his team in the playoffs. Tulsa missed out on it last year. Corrales. Bourgeois. Bourgeois over the top. This one's going to be offsides. A good run there from Brady Ballou. One of the local players we talked about out of Everett, Washington. Former Seattle University player.
Seemed to have everything right on that run, just maybe a half step too early. Assistant referee put his flag up very quickly.
Imagine some of the Tulsa fans we see on the far side, or maybe family members of Ballou, perhaps?
Definitely true, but
or hardcore Tulsa fans traveling out here.
You know, it's
never know.
It's been really fun to see in the USL this year. Fans are traveling better than ever before, and to have that happening in the world of second division soccer in the United States, it's a wonderful thing to see.
White going over the top, cut out. Of course, USL just passed 1.5 million fans having watched games this season. There's still plenty of games to go. Helps when you have the likes of Didier Drogba joining the league for a little while.
Absolutely.
Sean Wright Phillips, big names from Premier League's past. Still fun to watch. Ray Sari. Olsen. He's caught late. It's going to be a foul there on Tulsa.
That's the second time that Olsen's wound up on the turf tonight. Somewhat questionable challenge. If he goes down once more, I think he gets a free car wash. I'm not quite really sure.
Foul.
He knows how to draw a foul.
Foul looks like it was on Francisco Ugarte. Not a Sinkum. Jody DeLem. DeLem does well. Keep it. Still going DeLem. Tackled away though by Tulsa. S2 have their third corner.
It's well worked by DeLem. Not a guy that many would think of as a very physical presence out on the field, but not afraid to use his muscles there and wins another corner for S2 as a result.
Of course, he's at right back right now because that's what Sounders want him to play. Here's Mathers. Whips this one in. David Olson with an open look. Can't put it on frames. Nice run, though, by Olson.
Yeah, Olson traditionally very good to get on the end of set pieces there. Oh, it's a great run. Maybe just a step sooner he would have had enough momentum to direct that one towards goal, but still it's a good idea. And the other thing is every time that you have a set piece like that, now the back line's going to be wondering, they're like, hey, where's 71 the next time that S2 winds up at the corner?
Olson certainly would want another chance at that. Ray Starry. Malice. Not a Sinkum, back to Malice. Sorry. Tangled up there. Tulsa have won it back. It's a tackle from behind. It's a foul on David Olson. Catching Joaquin Rivas.
I think Olson knew what he was doing there. Just if you're going to throw that many numbers forward, it's usually better to commit the foul before they cross the midway line.
S2 looking for their first win against Tulsa, their franchise history tonight. Give themselves 3 points. Push for the playoffs here. Nana Sinkum's going to clear this one away. Malice called for a high kick. Tough one too, Malice, and does a nice job winning that over Colin Fernandez.
That's one of those ones where so often you hear people say, well, he got the ball, but it's not the getting the ball that matters. It matters if it was dangerous or not, and that definitely counts.
Fernandez on the ball to take this.
See Ayala trotting in there as well.
Ayala does typically take most of the set pieces for Tulsa, and he is going to take this one. Or it appears so. Mathers and Starry, a two-man wall. Everybody else on the edge of the 18. Ayala plays it out wide to the waiting Joey Calistri. He's tackled away well by Charles Rankin.
That's a phenomenal read from Charles Rankin. He was like a linebacker who knew the offense was about to run a running play. I wonder if we're going to see a booking for this.
That's great work from Mathers. Gets there first, just pulls away from Fernandez. Easy call for Jeff Arthur Holtz.
And a justifiable booking as well.
So 19th minute, first yellow card of the game goes to Colin Fernandez. Number 18 in the USL 20 under 20, Colin Fernandez. Signed with the Fire back in 2014, has been on loan to Louisville, 2015 and 2016 to St. Louis FC, and now he joins Tulsa late March. Good experience for the young man. Tulsa opting for high pressure now. Malice all the way back to Meredith. He'll knock it long. Mathers challenging. It's won by Corrales. Fernandez, this one's cut out by Chenkum. Bounces nicely though for Tulsa. Here comes Ballou on the right-hand side. Lots of time and space, gets his cross away. Jordy DeLem clears it. Fernandez, good skill from him. Ballou will get a second cross in. He does so. Again, nodded away by Sam Rogers, only as far as Tulsa again. And they've won a free kick. That's Jamie Ayala.
David Olson will plead his case. Not going to do him very much good, though. And now this is honestly, in some ways, more dangerous than a corner kick, because with the elevation, a skilled enough player can put that ball on the back post.
Big opportunity here for Tulsa. Looks like it is going to be Fernandez this time. Tulsa 5 players in the box, 2 on the edge of the 18.
It'll be enough to recall Charles Rankin from the midway line to close down. Excuse me, that's Felix Chenkum.
Fernandez bending this one towards the near post, just slid through the crowd. Brian Meredith didn't really know where that was. And Tulsa will have their first corner of the match.
Yeah, I think Meredith might not have seen that one. If he would, he'd probably be a little bit angrier with his back line. Anytime that ball bounces down inside the 6 and it doesn't get scored, it's a minor miracle.
And again, we have an S2 player turning his back. Looks like this time it was Zach Mathers deflecting it through. No one gets a foot on it, but corner here for Tulsa. Here it is. Bending, far post, wide open. Bourgeois. I think that might have gone off his own player, but we have counterattack going the other way. What a ball that is. Felix Chenkum, one-on-one, pulls it back. Now it's 1-on-3. Tulsa does really well to get back. Chenkum still going, though. Chenkum with the shot. Wide right. That looked very close from our angle, Andrew.
Well, we don't know exactly how close it was, but from up here, it looked like it missed by a matter of inches. Had that attack come off, that would have been a immediately candidate for goal of the week. You see it here. Oh, Aaron, he's not missed that by much at all.
I think you're right. That's really close. Fabian Serta, goalkeeper, certainly thought so as well. Excellent ball. I did not see who played that one out to Chenkum, but that was fabulous. Right to his feet. And away he goes. Tulsa did very well to get back. That ball was still bouncing in the box when somebody got their foot over it. Put it on a bullet straight to Chenkum's feet.
And it'll be really interesting to see how that alters what Tulsa does next time they have an opportunity to set up and send numbers forward. Because now that they know that Chenkum can burn them that badly, they'll definitely have to change something to account for that.
Well, you could still say S2 are certainly in control of this game, but they've had 1 or 2 defensive slips in the last few minutes. Nice tackle there from Jody DeLem. Chenkum sets Mathers. Now he's released David Olson on the left-hand side. Olson cuts back to his right. Now to Mathers. He has time. Mathers with the shot. Deflected straight into the hands of Serta.
Yeah, you could see just the ball took an extra skip on the turf right before Mathers made contact with it. Didn't get the power he wanted behind it. Then it takes a deflection that, luckily for Serta, puts it right into his chest.
S2 proving they're just as dangerous on the counterattack as well as the build-up. Tyrion. Ball's put across by Tulsa, knocked away. There's Fernandez again. Nice shot from him. Meredith covers it well.
Yeah, it's easier said than done for Brian Meredith. Anytime a shot's taken, there's bodies in the way. It's just gotta, sometimes you guess. I think he read that one all the way, though.
White gives it away. Tulsa wins it back. Serta under pressure from Chenkum stays composed. Corrales. Fernandez with a switch as he slips and falls. Brian Meredith is out to collect it. 25th minute, no score here. Sounders 2, Tulsa Roughnecks. Good game so far. Chances on both sides. Olson. We're going to play it back to White. Can't find him. Throw in for Tulsa.
And that's just been the 3rd or 4th time there's been a Sounders player that's been off by a couple of feet and turned the ball over as a result. The connectivity in the middle part of the field where you don't have to worry about playing the touchline has been great for the Sounders for these first 25 minutes. But out on the periphery, things have been a little bit touch and go.
Well, players just playing the ball in a little early, or miscommunications, as he said. Still early on in the game. Both sides realize the importance of this one. Fernandez. Early ball played in there by Calistri. S2 see it away. Now it's back to Tulsa. David Olson gets a piece of it. Calistri is going to pick it up on the far side. Ballou. David Olson again.
That's much better stuff out of Tulsa there than what we saw in the first 5-10 minutes of this one, Aaron.
Tulsa certainly picked the pace up. They sat back for the first 10 minutes, but now they're out. Ray Sorry does very well to keep that. Charles Rankin, 1v1 against Corrales. Rankin waiting for Jordy DeLem. Corrales read that. Rankin still on the ball. 1 against 3. Rankin gets it across. Ray Sorry was right there on the edge of the 6 and can't put it on frame. Captain knows what a big opportunity that was.
Oh, and he'd love to get another run at that. Look at this. Great skill from Rankin to get free. Beautiful ball. That is teed up for Ray Sorry. And he stuck that left foot out a fraction of a second sooner. S2 would be up by a goal right now.
Ray Sorry, 2 goals so far this season. Would have loved to have made it the 3rd. Just can't put that one on frame. S2 have had a couple of chances now, as have Tulsa. Nonasinkum. Would love to know if that shot, is Sorry, he's just tripped up there a little bit. Would love to know if Bourgeois' shot was deflected off a Sounder 2 defender or if that was off his own teammate. Here he is now. Serta comes out to pick it up.
Well, that's good refereeing there. Shankham got pushed into Serta. But yeah, I tend to agree. From the initial glance at that spring, that counterattack, it really looked like it came off a gray jersey.
Rogers goes long, looking for Shankham. He's flagged for offsides.
You know, Aaron, some things they always say is sometimes you get in your own way and keep you from winning a game. Well, sometimes you literally get in your own way.
One of the bonuses of firing it into the box. Maybe the S2 gets a little help there. Long ball over the top. Ballou is onside. No, he's not. He's been flagged for offsides by Cephas Quartzen.
Just a half a step head start for him. That's the 2nd time he's been caught out tonight. Thing is, though, you make enough of those runs eventually, whether you're onside or not, the AR gives you the benefit of the doubt and the flag stays down.
A good sign of attacking players, always looking to get in behind. Decent look from Tulsa's captain, Francisco Ugarte. Chilean. This one's broken up. Nonasinkum just clears. It's going to be a throw in for Tulsa.
Well, these opening minutes, S2 had all these passing lanes open because guys were making runs off the ball, even if they didn't expect it to come to them. They were drawing defenders out and allowing guys to make runs off the backside. Mathers did that excellently in the first couple minutes. Things have gotten a little bit more stationary, and this is allowing Tulsa to close down more defensively.
Well, certainly for the first, as you say, first 10 to 15 minutes, Tulsa sat back, let the pressure come from S2. Now they're out trying to dictate their own in this game as the flag is up on that near side on Brady Ballou.
I've never understood this, the hesitation from referees to card people for delaying the restart of play. It happens everywhere, and regardless of what team you cheer for, I just can't stand it. Just play the game. You know, I'm not saying you instantly have to sprint back 10 yards, but when you stand in the way like that and you actively come forward, in my mind, it should be a yellow card every time.
Well, sometimes referees just give players a warning. Don't want to give them a yellow straight away for something like that, but I agree, it can be really disruptive, especially in a counterattack. That's the time I think you'll see the yellow cards almost every time. David Olson. Deflected around, falls for him, tries to find Mathers slipping in between the defenders. Tulsa sees it away. Now they've given up possession. Mathers down, looks like he was fouled, but Jeff Arthur Holt says no. Play continues. Tulsa. Now it's a foul there called on Ray Sorry. He says he's tried to stop play because Mathers was still down. Mathers is limping.
I did not get a great look at what happened. It looked like Mathers stuck a leg out for a challenge and might have gotten some contact. Take it there and see it's that trailing leg that gets hit from Fernandez.
Keep in mind, Fernandez is already on a yellow card as well.
Boy, you know, Fernandez has his back leg tucked. That seems like a fair challenge on the ball. And it's a harsh 50-50 challenge, but I think it's a fair one and a good no call from the referee.
I agree. Jordy DeLem does well to win that one, but gives it back to Tulsa. Mathers looks like he's moving all right. Ugarte, captain, plays all the way back to Serta. Olsen chasing Ugarte down. Good pressure again from S2. That one's seen out by White.
And now here the question for S2 is, does the level of activity keep up like it was in those first 10 minutes? You know, it's really easy to look good in rounds 1, 2, and 3, but how do you look in rounds 7, 8, and 9?
Peugeot over Mathers. Mathers goes in on the challenge. Malice to Rankin. Jordy DeLem going around him. Rankin looking to drive inside. Did really well on that wing earlier to get that cross for Ray Sorry, Charles Rankin. Malice plays it out of pressure to Rogers. Now Sorry driving forward again, Ray Sorry. Finds Chenkum at the top of the box, Chenkum! He needs no setup in order to get his shot away. That is one of the best qualities about Felix Chenkum, and this one rattles off the crossbar.
Oh, Felix Chenkum, he's good with his left, he's good with his right. And that one looks like it took a small deflection that may have saved Tulsa a goal here. See it here. I really think that might have taken just the tiniest of a tick off his defender. But Felix Chenkum is honing in right now. Goal keeps getting a little bit larger every time he comes upfield.
Chenkum impresses more and more each time he's on the field for S2. That shot just came out of nowhere.
Absolutely, and the pace off that too. He has no momentum, pardon me.
Over the top, DeLem. Ballou is in. DeLem gets back. He gets his tackle away, and it's a corner kick, the second one for Tulsa. A little bit of a let up there from Jordy DeLem. Reached out with that foot, couldn't make contact on the ball, and Brady Ballou is through.
That's what we were talking about, Aaron. You do everything right, you do a bunch of good things, and then you take that one moment where you switch off. All of a sudden, you have a guy one-on-one inside your 6. Great recovery tackle from DeLem, though, as you take a look at that replay.
Well, question mark about whether DeLem actually got contact on the ball or not, but Ballou is already going down. Does get his shot away. Corner kick opportunity now here for Tulsa Roughnecks. 33rd minute. This one's whipped in straight at goal. Meredith punches it away strongly. Fernandez trying to play it out wide. Malice reads it. Well done by Callum Malice. Rankin knocks this out of play. Throwing on the near side for Tulsa.
And Tulsa just taking the opportunity to slow things up so that Ayala, who took that last corner, can make the diagonal run the entire length of all the players on the field, get back into that right back slot.
Corrales. This one's headed on. White will see this out, looking into the space. Good ball for David Olsen. Olsen, can he get there? He does. Still going. This one's defended by Ayala. And now Ugarte. Fans taking issue a little bit with Tulsa on the throw-ins a couple times. You hear the crowd yelling. Typical gamesmanship. Player gets it. Always tries to take a couple steps forward to get a little bit of an advantage. This one given away by Nana Sinkum. Ballou. He's got Tyrion to his left. Rivas. Plays it all the way out wide right. Flick. Ayala had stopped his run. Goes easily bouncing to Meredith.
Brian Meredith going to do the savvy thing, take a couple extra seconds here so his defenders can kind of all get back on the same page. A couple times now the back line sent some passes that have been questionable.
Sorry. Great ball from him to pick out White. Excellent run from the Australian. Players in the box. White will send this one in. It's going to go far post to Rankin. His touch straight at Serda. Punched away by the Tulsa keeper, Malice. First real good look at that speed from Steve White. What a ball that was from Ray Sorry.
Second time tonight, the Sounders have sent a great long ball low to the ground up the field. Those are the most dangerous ones. You don't have a chance to play them out of the air.
And a combination play too between Malice and Sorry and Mathers. Paying dividends in the midfield there for S2. Sorry again on the ball. Picking out David Olsen. Plenty of time for him to do so. Olsen gets that little bit of a cross in. No one's there. Tulsa finally pick it up under control for, this time it's Rivas. Cut out though by White. Cross in again for the left foot. Headed beyond by Corrales, and that's another corner, the fourth of the half for S2.
Well, Stephen White has been a starter on this team for 36 minutes, and from those 2 crosses alone, he's making the case for much more time, Aaron.
Absolutely. You said it, Andrew. Those left-footed crosses mean business. Mathers whips this one in, clears everybody, though. Malice will get there. No, he will not. Throwing for Tulsa.
A bit of a frustrating set piece for Sounders after 2 really good sequences. In particular, the cross that found Charles Rankin at the back post. That was a lot of fun for me to watch. You could see Charles Rankin calculating how fast the ball was dropping as it was coming in. It's, do I head this or do I hit it with the foot? In the end, he knew he couldn't add any power to it, just met it with the inside and still directed it on frame.
That was nice work from Rankin. He could have just kept it a little lower out of the hands of Cerda, but nice play from S2. Corrales. Pressured away by Rankin. Falls to Mathers. He puts it across to Jacob. Just couldn't square up his body enough and knocks it way over the goal. You could see the frustration on the Cameroonian. He knew that was a big chance. Cerda was out of the goal.
That's great pressure from Rankin. Immediately good decision there, and you can just see Felix Chankum. That looks a lot worse to miss from there, but considering where he was and coming off the break, trying to plant, drag your foot back there to collect that ball, he did everything he could. Just still, he can't get that final touch.
You could see Chankum frantically backing up, but not enough time. Ball came right to him. S2 knocking on the door right now. 38th minute here. Tulsa again with that long ball right to left to Baloo. Looks to set it for Corrales. He has it. It's a foul on Jordy Delem, Jeff Arthur Holt says. Be a free kick again for Tulsa in another dangerous position. Delem not happy with that.
And for the sake of equal time, Delem perhaps deserving a card for throwing the ball away there as well. I'm a bit of a stickler, Aaron.
Yes, you are, Andrew. No, it's great. Jeff Arthur Holt's motioning it's actually a throw-in. I think Tulsa thought the same thing. They set it up as a free kick. Jeff Arthur Holtz did blow his whistle. I assumed it was a foul, but
as did I.
Corrales, he'll take it for Tulsa. Crowd still yelling that Corrales is moving forward. Rankin doesn't clear it far. Bourgeois picks it up. Corrales again. Fernandez. This one tackled away by Delem.
Fans always quick to get the ball back to the pitch here at Starfire. And this time Jeff Arthur Holtz is going to move the man back.
Corrales goes to the long throw over the top. This one headed away, Manon and Singham falls to Tyrion. Kind of shanks it wide right. Calistri looking to hunt it down, and he does so. Rivas, ball in, nicely saved by Delem. Baloo is trying to sneak in on that far post. Rivas again. Malice pokes it away for Olsen. Olsen brings it back into the fray. Chips it cleanly over to the spot where Jordy Delem meets it. Brings it forward. Rankin. 1-2 with Rankin. Delem still going. Chankum has it knocked away by Ugarte. Tulsa clears. Now Sorry. Rankin again on the right. Puts this one across the top of the 18. Calistri cleans it up. Now Tyrion finds Baloo out left. Haven't seen much from Pavel Kondrakin so far tonight, the center forward for Tulsa. It's been all wing play right now for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, this is just the 8th appearance and 4th start for Kondrakin. I believe that's him getting flagged for offside right there. Assistant referee has the flag up on the far side now. Jeff Arthur Holtz sees it. Just had a tough time kind of breaking into space. Doesn't look like he really has the pace to create separation with Nana Sinkum and Sam Rogers. Nothing wrong with being a target man, but a game like this doesn't favor him.
Sorry, under pressure. That pass from Malice. Yeah, Kondrakin, as we mentioned before, still has yet to find the back of the net so far this season for Tulsa. Meredith, not the greatest clearance, but falls for Sari. Does well to get out of pressure, Ray Sari. Mathers, Rankin, Jordy Dilem again on the attack on that right-hand side from the right back. Both him and Steve White doing very well. Quick ball from Malice out left. Nice heel there from David Olson. Sari is hit by Francisco Ugarte, and huge free kick opportunity here for S2. About 20 yards out.
Wow, this is dangerous. Take another look at it here. Clever backheel to get it to Sari. Deft touch to get it between Ugarte's legs. And that's just a case of, even though it was a big touch from Sari, Ugarte very clearly comes for the ball and gets none of it. And now this is Zach Mathers' wheelhouse.
Mathers known to hit these. Malice is standing over it as well. I've never seen him take a free kick. Obviously, this is only his second game here with S2. But Mathers we have seen from pretty much this exact spot. Zach Mathers takes it up and over. Can't get it quite on frame.
That's the challenge. In a way, the kick would have been more dangerous. It would have been about 3 yards back because you have enough time to get the ball up and down. Take a look at it again here. You can see, right, 2 yards further back, and look at where the ball's dipping down right now. That would have been on frame and a big problem for Cerda.
43rd minute, scoreless here at Starfire Stadium. Aaron Hines and Andrew Harvey. Sounders 2 against Tulsa Roughnecks. Got a game on our hands right now. No score, but it's been end-to-end stuff. Colin Fernandez. Corrales, the left back, as Rankin goes down. Seemed to caught himself up there. Here's Tyrion. Shot from Calistri. Had power, but way over the top. Rankin's back on his feet, fortunately for S2.
Rankin's going to try to walk this off, but these ones always hurt. He tried to go in for a tackle, but his back foot just kind of stayed planted to the ground. He wound up coming down with his leg fully extended. Take another look at it here. Right there, he just kind of trips up, and it's that foot, the right foot, going into the ground right there. He'll definitely be one to keep an eye on over the next, well, 2 minutes plus stoppage until halftime to see how he responds to that.
Yeah, fortunately for S2, he'll, as you mentioned, first half almost over for Mr. Rankin, so he could get some attention if he needs it at halftime. Jordy Dilem just going to go along with it, looking for Chenkum. Rivas. This one knocked long for Tulsa, looking for Tyrion. Headed away by Rogers. Nana Sinkum clears, only as far as Fernandez. Calistri can't get his touch right. Sorry, going the other way for S2. Mathers in space. Zach Mathers looking to get around Ugarte. He does. Gets the cross away. This one's scooped up by Cerda. Not a lot of options, just Chenkum and Olsen going through there.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where, since you can't tell how many defenders are trailing behind you, you just kind of have to take the opportunity that's presented. Mathers did the best he could with it, but there wasn't too much to be done.
I've been impressed by how quickly Tulsa are able to get back. Even when Felix Chenkum was breaking away, 3 Tulsa players able to hunt him down. Cerda just playing dangerously there, getting it around Rankin. Corrales. Garte. Tulsa's back line. Content to just keep the ball. This one's lost out. White's picked it up off Ballou. He's moved over to the right-hand side now. Here's Malice. S2 looking to muster one more attack before the end of the first half. See how much, no sign of how much time we have left. So we hit 45, and it is 1 minute of injury time here. Didn't think it'd be much. Nana Sinkum. Rankin's got Jordy Dilem, and that run again from the right back spot. Dilem. Gets his crossway, a little bit of deflection. This one's headed away by Bourgeois.
Well, I think if they go in scoreless at the break, S2 can even afford to be a little bit disappointed with themselves that they haven't scored. They produced so many promising looking opportunities. They've certainly had the greater run of promising chances against Tulsa, who have impressed in this first half. It's just a matter now of getting to the break and maintaining that momentum through the second 45. You know, as S2 has found out time and time again, 45 minutes of good soccer is not enough in this league.
Tulsa, of course, might be a little bit disappointed they didn't take what was given to them. A couple little opportunities. Nothing as clear-cut as S2, and that is the whistle from referee Jeff Arthur Holtz. We are scoreless here at Starfire Sports Stadium after 45. Sounders, too, as you said, Andrew, with the majority of the chances. Tulsa Roughnecks, a couple things here and there. How do you think they fared overall in the first half for Tulsa?
You know, I think they did what a lot of road teams do, especially when you come into turf like this. You come in, play the first 10, 15 minutes, let S2 come to you and feel things out. After that, they flipped the script, and they had some really good-looking chances coming down the field, but they didn't really seem to have a chance to set up established attack, and that's what they'll want in the second half if they want to get 3 points on the road.
First half in the books here, as we said. Sounders 2-0, Tulsa Roughnecks 0. The end of the first half, we will have highlights and stats after this.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Week 23 of the 2017 USL regular season was one for the record books. 5 midweek matchups took center stage as the league's total attendance record was shattered. Wednesday night saw the USL surpass the 1.5 million mark in total attendance, pushing past 2016's total attendance in just 6.5 weeks after the league passed the 1 million mark. FC Cincinnati continues to lead the league in average attendance with more than 20,000 fans per game, with Sacramento Republic FC not far behind. But notably this season, the league has more than doubled its number of teams averaging more than 5,000 fans per game, with 9 clubs above that mark. Those 9 teams, which include newcomers Reno 1868 FC, Ottawa Fury FC, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies, sit in the top 11 in average attendance nationally outside Major League Soccer. With the season pushing on, the 2 million attendance mark is on the horizon. As the race for the 2017 USL Cup playoffs heats up, the league's fans are not cooling down. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
Why do you not get me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Halftime here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Seattle Sounders FC 2-0. Tulsa Roughnecks 0. We'll take a look here at the halftime statistics and highlights. Let's get right to the highlights first. There were a ton of them, Andrew. Both Tulsa and Sounders 2 going right at each other. And Sounders 2 kind of with the majority of the chances.
Yeah, majority of the chances. Tulsa, a couple opportunities as well. They have the first look here. Callum Malice turning sideways, and boom, the shot. And that one is Kondrakin, really his biggest contribution. Unlucky to miss that near post, but the wall's got to stay stronger there. Meanwhile, coming the other way, Jordy DeLem swings in this cross here. That's met by David Olsen at the back post. And just look at the touch to put that on frame. Serta does well to keep it away. And now this is a great chance at both ends. That did take a deflection, but now Stephen White, beautiful long ball up the field to an onside Felix Schenken. Schenken gets away, breaks into space, and just barely misses putting that one in. He'll miss again later on. Charles Rankin undressing a couple defenders, finds Ray Sari, and Sari can't put it in. And you can see the frustration there. Now Ray Sari serving up some good balls. Felix Schenken, look at the pace on that shot, off his back foot. And then this last chance of the half comes down the side. Jordy DeLem misses. He comes in for the recovery. This is Ballou coming in. And on first blush, when you look at that replay, some controversy, maybe a case for a penalty there. Take a look at it there, though. I see that swinging from DeLem. I say not a penalty, but Aaron, I'm really curious to get your thoughts on that.
Well, of course, first look, I thought Jordy DeLem didn't get a piece of it. I thought Ballou had gotten through, but I stand corrected. I think you're right, Andrew. I think he got him this time. So nice tackle by Jordy DeLem. Good recovery for him, and I say no penalty. I change.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Of course, the issue then is, you can't put yourself in the position where you have to keep making those highlight reel tackles. As a defender, anytime you appear on the highlight reel not in the attacking half, it's usually not a great thing.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to put yourself in that position. Absolutely. Well, Sounders 2, as you can see, with the better of the chances. Tulsa, though, they could still be happy, and they have some reserves, of course, on the bench. That big one in Mr. 6'6" forward, Ian.
Yeah, Ian Svanteson. And he scored 10 goals this season. Listen, the man is dangerous. We talk about big contributors, and then there's big contributors. Well, Ian Svanteson is the mountain who scores. He scored 10 goals this season. 9 of them have come from inside the penalty area. And when you're 6'6", it's usually not a secret on how you're getting most of your goals. Listen, he's close to unmarkable, you can see here. Tulsa fans love him down there. He's a fan favorite. Other guy that they have is Juan Pablo Caffa. He's been injured the last couple games. Look at that free kick service that he takes right there to the back post. But on August 10th against St. Louis, and you're going to see it here in just a minute, that's him in the isolation, just takes an awkward bucket step and pulls up, and you can immediately see he just goes down. Had not played or appeared in the 18 since then, but Caffa, 6 goals, 5 assists on this season from the number 10 man. So between Svanteson and Caffa, you have to assume you're going to see one of them early here in the second half to try to change something up about this Tulsa attack.
Absolutely, and Caffa, of course, has been voted 4 times this season Team of the Week. So that says something about the effect that he can have. Svanteson, as you mentioned, was with Rayo OKC last season, was picked up, brought over here to Tulsa, and as you mentioned, 10 goals. That is a massive contribution. So that's Tulsa's bench. What do we have for Sounders 2 on the other side? Sounders 2, of course, playing with a little more experience. We've got one attacking option. Who's that man?
Well, there are a couple of guys that you could turn to. Javorn Stevens is in there. He's a guy you could turn to at striker. Lorenzo Ramos is also on the bench for Sounders 2. Those are kind of the first 2 guys who jump out at me. You also have Shannon Hopiau, but there's really not that kind of one big-name contributor as I'm looking at the bench. Aaron, if you're thinking of someone else that I haven't named yet, please jump on.
No, Javorn Stevens was the guy I was thinking of, a guy that needs a little more playing time, a little more contribution, but they still have a couple of options. One big notice, of course, Irvin Parra not in the 18 tonight. We may see him later on down the road, but he is always a huge contributor here for Sounders too, so that's a big miss for them tonight.
No, absolutely. Irvin Parra has done a lot of good things for Sounders too. I'm sure they would love to be able to have him in the 18 tonight. He's not able to make it for whatever reason, but you know, it's one of those things where for Sounders too, if the guys who are in that starting 11 aren't able to get it done, they're going to have to dig deeper and just find something in themselves. And really, you know, that's true both tonight in the span of 90 minutes, but also in the span of these last 8 games, Aaron. Is you're up against it. You're below the red line right now. Like we said, you're on the outside looking in. And what are you going to do to change your circumstances so that you're dancing in the postseason?
Scoreless at the half. We'll take a couple look at the stats here for Sounders, too. And for Tulsa Roughnecks, of course, 0-0, 9 shots for S2, and we've seen some of the quality of those shots. What stands out to you there, Andrew?
Well, correlation does imply causation here. Look at the passing accuracy for S2 compared to Tulsa, and that leads directly into why possession is so lopsided. The passes for S2 have been clean, they've been crisp, and they have been inventive, like that long ball from White up the side to spring Felix Chankum. For Tulsa, they got to rally back a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw them kind of just try to sit on the ball in the middle part of the field here, and you know, possession is going to lead to shots, so it kind of just a series of dominoes, but you got to get that passing accuracy up, because if you can't find your guys, you're giving the ball away.
We are scoreless here at Starfire Sports Stadium, but the second half to come. Seattle Sounders 2 taking on the Tulsa Roughnecks. We'll have the second half after this.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to savethefood.com.
The USL has expanded its soccer reach this week, announcing 2 new expansion franchises. Birmingham, Alabama has been announced as the first expansion franchise to join the league in 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure on behalf of the USL to welcome Birmingham into the USL for the 2019 season.
Currently known as USL Birmingham, the franchise will announce their official name, crest, and venue at a later date. The team is set to build on the strong foundation of support built by local fans.
You know, Magic City Brigade, you guys have been amazing for us. We can't say thank you enough for your unwavering support. Without fans, we're not standing here. And so thank you guys. I really do appreciate that.
More information and advanced ticket sales can be found at uslbirmingham.com. Las Vegas will be the 3rd and final club to join the league for the 2018 season.
This is our team collectively that we are going to make into the best professional soccer team that we can. And I can't be more proud to be part of all of you and to bring professional soccer to Las Vegas.
The club will call Cashman Field in downtown Las Vegas home, and the name is up to the fans. Visit vegasprosoccer.com through Monday, August 28th to cast your vote. Las Vegas will join the league in 2018, and Birmingham, Alabama will begin play in the 2019 season. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent until I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back, Starfire Sports Stadium. 1 minute left to halftime here. Both teams back out on the field. Fans get ready for second half action. Scoreless here. Both these sides looking for 3 points. Andrew, let's talk about Seattle Sounders 2's schedule from here on out. They're, of course, hosting Tulsa tonight. Then they go to Phoenix on September 2nd. What happens after that?
Well, after that, they'll have a home game against Reno, home game against Colorado Springs, home game against Phoenix Rising, and that's it. 3 home games, and then you go on the road the last 3. They're going to see these guys again, go to Tulsa. That's in early October. They're at Swope Park, who have been on fire all season long. And then there's Oklahoma City Energy. Right now, Sounders 2, their entire remaining schedule is above the red line right now, with the exception, forgive me, of Phoenix, who sits right below it with 30 points. So everyone is right in the mix, and it's going to be an absolute dogfight. So S2 really needs to put themselves on the front foot and churn out good results at home, because playing on the road in this league is tough.
Absolutely. Huge opportunity here for Sounders 2 tonight. As we mentioned before, 5 of the 8 games left. The opponents they're facing are currently within 4 points of them right now. So that's Tulsa twice, Phoenix twice, and then Colorado Springs. On the other hand, Tulsa, they have 9 games remaining. They will go to Timbers 2 next on the 3rd of September. Then they have Whitecaps 2. Then they go home back to the Midwest, but they go to Oklahoma City. Then, of course, you take a look at Los Dos, LA Galaxy, another team struggling before San Antonio, away to Phoenix, S2 again in early October, and finally finishing out at home against Colorado Springs. So Tulsa as well, some big opportunities playing some of the lower teams right now in the Timbers and Whitecaps FC too. Chance for some points for them as well.
Yeah, this late in the season, it's all about momentum. Can Tulsa capture it in this 3-game stand in Cascadia?
Second half is underway here at Starfire Sports Stadium. We'll let you know if we've had any changes. So far, both teams look to be the same 11 that started. Sam Rogers see that one away. Malice, his first touch gets away from him. This one's going to be picked up by Tulsa. That's Calistri. All the way back to Bourgeois. Well, he mentioned this possibility of the substitutes. See what time they come on here in the second half. Both coaches, though, happy with the 11 they have out there right now. Cross comes in, seen away by White.
White is really impressed here in his first start through 45 minutes. Admittedly, the job half done, but he seemed more than up to the task so far.
If you're Ezra Hendrickson, Andrew, what do you say to your sides? We see this ball from Bugeaud again, another deep crossing ball. Tyr-Young wins down this ball. Tyr-Young has a shot deflected right off the chest of Sam Rogers. Sorry, sees this one away to the waiting Zach Mathers. Looking to release Olsen, but Ayala does a nice job beating him to it.
Yeah, good job shielding off the ball. To answer your question about the halftime talk for Ezra Hendrickson, Aaron, I just say, listen, you're getting the chances out there. I just need you to go out there, somebody step up and put one of them away. Then go and put a second one of them away. Because the one thing we don't want is a 1-goal lead in the dying minutes of this match.
Olsen back to White. Sounders 2 reset. Crowd here enjoying some beautiful weather. S2 again with a lot of early possession, although it's just 2 minutes into the game. Malice switching it out to Jordy Delem. He was lively in the first half on that right-hand side. Rankin.
The interplay of Delem and Rankin has been really fun to see on the right side of the pitch today. They're both really pacey players, both very creative, and they're both not afraid to throw a stiff arm and ride off a challenge, as you see right there.
Well, it's a big change, especially in the modern day game, you know, when you have 2 outside backs, both that really enjoy going forward and have the pace to get back and recover if needs be. Free kick here for S2. Just inside Tulsa's half. Delem. Sorry. Not quite on the same page with Chenkum there. Rankin nearly got that. away, but Corrales sees it long. S2 have it back already. Jordy DeLem looking to pick out David Olson. Malice cleans it up. Malice with the shot, but that one's knocked away by Rivas. Olson for S2.
All right, it's good to see Callum Malice take that shot, even if it doesn't come off for him and doesn't really go anywhere at all. In the first half, I thought he was a little bit too content to pass the ball backwards. More on that in a minute.
DeLem cutting inside, now plays Malice. Plays him in a little bit of trouble. Tulsa have won it. The foul's called on Malice there.
And just to finish that thought is, yes, a holding midfielder, obviously. Your first thing should not be give away the ball. Pardon me, here comes Tulsa on a break.
Tyrion on the left-hand side, cuts it in on his right. Drops it back, Fernandez keeps it going, gets the pass wrong though. Tulsa have to retreat to clear it up. That's Ayala, gets it off of Olson, throwing for Tulsa. Balistri. Ayala gets this one wrong, throwing for S2.
Yeah, if I'm Ezra, I would just say to Callum Malice, listen, I know you don't want to make any mistakes, but we play a system that is designed to have our holding midfielders and our outside backs get involved in the attack. Don't be afraid to go forward. We have teammates who are here to cover you in case something goes wrong.
Sorry to Malice. Olson's flick falls to White, plays out of trouble. Malice, good ball long for Chankum. Bourgeois is there, heads it away. Only as far as Rankin on the left foot. Not enough power, and it's wide of the goal. Goal kick here for Tulsa.
One of the things you have to adjust to at this level is when you get that ball at the top of the 18, you've got about maybe 2 seconds, and you're counting 1 1,000, 2 1,000. You can see Rankin, he arrived at 2 1,000 and said, I got to shoot it.
Good effort from Rankin, just can't put it on frame. This one's flicked on. Nana Sinkum has it. Puts it away. Tulsa on the ball again. Tyrion going at the S2 back line. Just couldn't pick out Kondrakin. Cross coming in straight into the hands of Brian Meredith. S2 away on the counterattack as David Olson takes off on the left-hand side. He's got just Chankum in front of him. Nice recovery, though, by Ayala. Malice. Malice is going to go ahead and couldn't tell if that was a shot or just a fake shot with the pass, looking for Chankum, but it's cut out anyways. Sorry. Intercepts this one, finds Mathers. Mathers with the cross, looking for Chankum. Well defended there by Ugarte. Sorry, picks up the clearance. Goes down, and it's a free kick again here for S2. This one looks like it's a little further out from the 18. Zach Mathers get another shot at this, perhaps.
Ray, sorry, not afraid to put his body on the line. Here's a look at that first ball, well defended, as you said, by Ugarte. Comes out atop the area. Bourgeois heads it clear. Ray, sorry, makes his move, and Fernandez gets him, and then is very quick to apologize. He knows he's on a yellow card, but also I think he was a little bit saying, hey, man, I really didn't mean that one.
Fernandez, the only yellow card so far of the game, awarded to him in the 19th minute. Again, Malice and Mathers standing over it. Mathers took the first one late in the first half. Malice looks like he might be taking this one. It is going to be Callum Malice up and over the crossbar this time again. Lots of pace on it, but just couldn't hit the target.
Well, I like the idea there. A pretty good connection from him. Take another look at it here. Spins it toward the top left and misses by a little bit more than that earlier effort from Felix Chankum did down at the other side of the pitch. But well connected.
Sounders too, again, early pressure on Tulsa's goal. But as you mentioned, Andrew, they have to put something away, especially knowing the firepower Tulsa have on their bench at the moment. We will almost certainly be seeing at least one of the two of those men.
Yeah, the question for David Vaudreuil is, when do you deploy those game-changing playmakers that you have on your bench? Again, Kaffa is coming back from injury, and it has been a while, so fitness will probably be a bit of a concern. The one thing you really don't want to do is re-aggravate it. If it's better, just rest him for all of tonight. maybe next game too, and just pull him out when you really need him down the stretch.
Of course, Ian Svantesson, 6'6", what an imposing threat. And typically with attackers, you want to give them some time, get into the game. So probably could be seeing a substitute here in the next 10 minutes, would be my guess. Here's Calistri. It's also operating on this left-hand side. Jordy Delem, he's going to be called for a foul there. Looks like he might have caught Jorge Corrales. Big free kick opportunity here for Tulsa.
And I have to say that Arthur Holtz has gotten that call correct. That's well shielded by Jorge Corrales. Just knew what he was doing. Drew in Jordy Delem. Delem lunged.
Just warming up in the background there was Juan Kaffa. He's got a penny on, still standing. It looks like it's going to be Ayala to take this. Arthur Holtz pointing out a little pushing and shoving, blows the whistle, and we're underway. Ayala whips this one in. Meredith punches it away. Knocked all the way back to Corrales.
That's good aggressive goalkeeping by Brian Meredith. Every time you leave your goal line, you have to get to the ball, and if you don't get to the ball, you better get to a large crowd of players and make it look like you got fouled. Twice tonight he's come out and punched it away.
Good goalkeeping by Meredith. Have to be brave in there. Of course, you leave yourself open, and you extend that arm, and you did very well to clear it away. Sounders, too, looking to make it 3 straight wins. Tulsa, of course, lost their last match back on August 23rd. 2-1 loss to St. Louis. By then, they had gone down to 10 men. That goal scored in the 90th minute. There were 7 minutes of extra time in that match, in that second half. But looking to get back into winning ways here. Mathers over the top, looking to release Rankin. It's going to be too far for him, or is it? Rankin tries to get there. It's fouled Corrales in the process. A free kick for Tulsa.
Oh, that's solid work by the defender Corrales. You win a free kick at the attacking end, you win a free kick at the back end. And his story, Aaron, is really something that's kind of fun and new in American soccer. He's Cuban by birth and applied for a visa to come visit family in Florida. Just a tourist visa in 2015, got here and decided he wanted to go through the legal proceedings to actually apply for a work visa as a Cuban. And it's just kind of, a lot of people say keep politics out of soccer, but it's neat to see that we're at a place now where a young Cuban guy can talk about playing soccer professionally in the United States.
Of course, we are familiar with Cuban players here, the Seattle Sounders, with Osvaldo Alonso.
And that's part of the thought for me is that's a far cry from Ozzy Alonso having to duck away from team handlers when he was here for the Youth Caribbean Cup.
Another excellent ball there from White. Pick out Nana Sinkum and switch the play. Here's Jordy Delem. Sounders, too, still look lively. Jordy Delem again, confident on the ball from the Martinique international. Driving inside, now has Jankum. Olsen looking for Jordy Delem going through. This one's cut out. Knocked away by Ugarte. Rogers. White all the way back to Nana Sinkum. Sorry, ball for Olsen running through. Ugarte again covers this one. Again, good look from Ray Sorry. That's a foul on Zach Mathers. By Zach Mathers, I should say, on Ugarte.
Ugarte has come out here and had a very solid game at that center back position. There have been a couple slip-ups, but he's come up big every time he's needed to. He's a big part of the reason that it's still zeros on the scoreboard this late on.
Always has to be difficult when you lose a big man and a big presence in your captain and Modu Jadama. Just sitting out that 1-game suspension with the red card he picked up. 2 yellow cards in 8-minute succession in that game against St. Louis. Here's Fernandez. They're going to find Calistri. Calistri going straight at White. Back on his left foot, looking at the top of the box. There's a chance. Fernandez can't put it on frame, but that was real close.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the case. The ball just comes away from his foot a little bit. Had no choice but to toe poke it and caught it just with the outside right of his toe. And just see it spin away from the ball there. But again, the action on that didn't miss by too much.
Schenkum has a chance to turn, can't. It's a nice tackle there from Ugarte again. Tulsa clear, S2 have it back. 59th minute, still scoreless here at Starfire. Ezra Hendricks inside, missed the playoffs last year. Their first year in 2015, they just made the playoffs, had to go to Colorado Springs and fell by a score of 2-0. So looking to make a return this season. 8 games to do it in.
Well, and it ties right into the mission statement. You know, a lot of people often say, especially for MLS-affiliated USL clubs, oh, well, they're just trying to develop talent. Yes, they want to develop first-team talent, but part of the way you do that is you get yourselves into tough situations and you grind through and you make it.
Sorry gives this one away, but tackles well to get it back. Now Fernandez has won it off Sorry. Cross coming in. Meredith steps in to pick it up. Hasn't had too much to do tonight, Brian Meredith, but Tulsa have had some real close calls, big opportunities in front of his goal.
Yeah, that's pretty simple stuff for Brian Meredith. Tulsa really needs to find some other way to attack.
Ball from Mathers is released Rankin on the right-hand side. It's got Schenkum and Olsen in the goal. Tries to pick out his pass, can't get it.
Waited a fraction of a second too long. Should have sent it before taking that final touch.
Bourgeois clears. Sorry knocks down to Jody Dillon. Malice. There's White. Right on the cusp of the 60th minute, we have substitutes on both sides warming up. S2 hold a little possession. Tulsa will rest. S2 looking to set up their attack again. Here's Sam Rogers. Center back, roving forwards, picked out White. Steve White gets the cross away again. Look at the far post for Rankin. It's a knockdown. Schenkum gets a piece of it. Tulsa clear it away again. Malice, well read from him. Wins it back for S2. 2 substitutes might be waiting for a few minutes if S2 have this kind of possession.
Well, the man in green on the sideline, Shannon Hopia, will be happy to wait if it means his team is up a goal when the substitution does take place.
Olsen. The most likely Charles Rankin or David Olsen will depart for Shannon Hopia. Olsen looking to pick out Schenkum. It was just off the shoulder of the Cameroonian. It's a goal kick for Tulsa. And it is going to be Charles Rankin, replaced by 18-year-old Shannon Hopiau. Hopiau will get his 13th appearance for S2 this summer.
Just 1 assist for Hopiau so far, but he's shown promise. He has pace, and maybe if Charles Rankin has run himself out of the game in the course of an hour, Hopiau has the gas to go the final 30.
Yeah, big cheer here for Seattle U alum Brady Ballou as he departs. He's replaced by number 10, Juan Pablo Caffa. He comes into the game.
Well, like we said at halftime, 6 goals, 5 assists. The danger is obvious, and it'll be interesting to see how he can change things for this Tulsa attack.
Tulsa head coach David Vaudreuil knows what he can do. As you said, hoping to change the game. Here's Calistri out wide right. Cross comes in. This one's knocked away by Nana Sinkum. First corner of the second half for Tulsa.
Well, the immediate change. Caffa now will be the man to take the set pieces. This one's going to be an outswinger.
Makes sense. Doesn't have his usual target. It's Fantassin here, but here's this ball in from Caffa. Falls to White. He'll clear this one away for Schenkum. They won't get there, throwing for Tulsa. Well, I thought for sure we'd see Sven Tussin first. Just because Kondraken just has been a bit quiet so far still, even in this game now. Even in this second half. But Koffa comes in, as we mentioned, had been injured back in August 11th. Worked his way back in and recovered from his injury and looking to make the difference here for tonight for Tulsa. Both teams with one substitution used. Colin Fernandez, number 8 for Tulsa, still the only player on a card right now. Free kick here for Sounders too. Mathers is going to take it.
And you're getting to the point in the game now where earlier Sounders 2 would have just restarted this quickly.
Mathers whips this one. It's a good ball, Olsen. But we have a foul there. Free kick for Tulsa. Too much contact in the box.
Referee Jeff Arthur Holtz was very quick on that whistle. Didn't even have time to find the head of David Olsen. Still promising looking service in from the right side.
'65th minute now here. Still scoreless. As this game goes on and on, though, you start to see things probably open up a bit. Both these teams would love to have 3 points.
Yeah, it's more than just a love too. It's a real need for both these sides. The West is so congested around the cutoff line that anything other than 3 points is kind of what you're going to have to regard as a failure, regardless of how well you do or don't play.
Of course, obviously, the Tulsa still looking at possibility of home field advantage if they get enough wins, collect enough points. It's good pressure here again. It's been read by Shannon Hopial, but Serta gets there first. Nice pressure from S2. Good read from the youngster. Malice can't control it. Tulsa have it back. Ayala. Sorry. He's read that one. No one to his left but finds Mathers. Sorry, still going as Mathers plays it back. Ray Sorry, fancy backhill, picks out White. Top of the box, Ray Sorry with time, he'll take a shot. Ray Sorry just beyond the far post, but he got a lot of connection. That's the second big opportunity tonight for Ray Sorry.
He's just all over the place for the Sounders, always doing good things. You see it here again. And that's the case, just not enough spin. Look at how dead that thing is in the air. Had he gotten just a little bit more of the backside of that ball and spun it on, ooh, would have been enticing. And a little storyline to keep your eye on that was out of camera was Jamie Ayala. Was kind of chirping the near side assistant referee. Felt he'd been fouled by Stephen White, went down behind the run of play.
White did. There was a sound of contact there when they made that tackle, but Jeff Arthur Holtz said play on, and we have another substitution here, and it is the big man coming in for current central forward, Pavel Kondraken. His night is over, and he will be replaced by Ian Sventesson. 10 goals, 1 assist. Now both big attackers for Tulsa have entered the game.
He's going to be a real handful. He's fresh. He's only been asked to go about 24 minutes plus stoppage here. How well can this Sounders 2 back line hold up and stay with him?
Of course, now he also has the service. Again, the service from Koffa he hasn't had available for the last few games. Here is Koffa. Looking through for Tyrion. Good run from him, but Koffa doesn't get the pass right. Delem. Looking for Hopiau. Glenn over the top. Bourgeois cuts it out. Bourgeois with Hopiau all over him. Still going, Bourgeois. Good skill from the center back. Good bit of possession here from Tulsa. Taking their time. Ayala. Calistri. Calistri still on it. We're going to find Fernandez. He's got space. Fernandez. Meredith is there. Great save from him. That's the biggest save, the most he's had to do tonight.
Well, it took 68 minutes for Brian Meredith to really need to make a big-time play but when it came, he was ready. Beautiful job. Look at that extension. Arms up exactly the right moment.
It was tough for him to see, too, as that ball was rounding Brian Nanasinkum. Meredith got down low and pushes it away. It's another corner here for Tulsa. Ball's knocked in. Sventesson gets a head on it. Someone's called for a foul in there, and it'll be a free kick for S2.
I think it might have been Sventesson. But, you know, when you're his height, you usually could make a case, look, I don't need to climb on anybody's back. I just have to jump.
Players were all bunched in there. I didn't get a chance to see whose job it was to mark Ian Sventesson, but most likely Brian Nanasinka would be my first pick. Not the tallest guy in there, but really does well in the air. Here's Jordy DeLem. Over the top, Chenkum. Ugarte sees it away. Sorry, can't settle it. Sorry does well to pick the ball off of Kaffa. Now it's falling to David Olson. Olson. Now we have a foul here. Jeff Arthur Holtz is right behind the play. This is interesting. He's pulled out a yellow card. This was something away from the play, I believe.
Yeah, Ray Sorry just got kind of pulled down behind play.
And that's been awarded to number 11, Joaquin Rivas. So in the 70th minute, Rivas goes into the book for Tulsa. Free kick opportunity from about 35 yards out here for Sounders 2.
I'd like to see Sounders 2 try to play it to a man here. They've been going for goal all night. I've been close, but I've been missing. Maybe now it's time, with everyone expecting it to be on frame, you serve it to the back post.
Well, I get your wish here. Both David Olson and Chenkum are back there. Here's Mathers, puts this one on frame. Serta has to see it away. It's well struck from Mathers.
Well, I can hum and haw all I like, but anytime you can still manage to do that, no one can be upset with your effort.
Serta saw that coming all the way. Does well, though. Has to punch it clear. It's got a lot of pace on it.
Jeff Arthur Holtz wants a word. He's seen a lot of jerseys getting pulled, a lot of guys being given less than fraternal hugs inside the various penalty areas on set pieces tonight.
Mathers knocks this one in. Falls to Ray Sorry, his shot. First one blocked, second one in, goes off of Chenkum. Tulsa see it away. Sventesson. He's pulled on there by White. Clutches his face afterwards. Sventesson showing he's got some pace. Puts this one back in. Can't find Rivas. White, or excuse me, that was Sam Rogers. He's caught in the face. White sees this one away. Chenkum looking to hunt that down. Serta picks it up. Tulsa have the ball back. Surprising pace for the 6'6" man there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there are only two ways to be faster as a runner than the next guy: stride length and stride frequency. Well, Sventesson certainly has stride length and the frequency too, as we saw just now.
Sventesson winning that ball over Rogers. Meredith backs into his goal. Sventesson still going. Nicely cut out by Brian Nanasinkum. Corner kick Tulsa. Their third of the half. Something we did not see from Pavel Kondrakin, really, at any time he was in, those runs coming in behind the defensive line, and Ian Sventesson's showing he can do just that. Kaffa whips this one in, bounces nicely. Brian Meredith gets a touch to it, but it's not enough, and it's Francisco Ugarte. Opening goal of the match, and it's Tulsa's.
Well, that's a case, Mary, where so much of the attention is focused on Sventesson, but Tulsa have been looking dangerous on set pieces tonight. Look again at this ball, served in by Kaffa. Great loft to the back post, and Ugarte does enough, just meets it well with his foot. And anytime it gets to the back post like that, Meredith is screamed the whole time. Doesn't have enough time to react.
You can see Sam Rogers a little bit disappointed. He was the one marking Ugarte, just let him get on the inside of him. And the captain for the evening, Chilean, has put his side up. Tulsa leading 1-0. Less than 20 minutes to go. See how S2 respond. They wonder about some of those missed opportunities in the first half. Here's Malice. He lets fly Callum Malice, just wide of the goal. He is not afraid to shoot. Second time we've seen him stride forward and smash it from about 40 yards out.
Promising stuff, and given how much time's remaining, not a terrible decision from him, but Sounders too are really gonna have to buckle down and generate quality attacking chances. Tulsa now have a goal, and they know the game's gonna open up and come to them more as S2 push for an equalizer.
No, you're absolutely right, Andrew. Juan Pablo Caffa now with 6 assists on the season for himself. Long ball from White. Let's just shank him up there. Good skill there from Corrales. Tyrion. Good passing here from Tulsa. Tyrion again. Svensson. Tulsa suddenly have new life after that goal. They were been pinned back a couple times this half. Ugarte, the goal scorer, goes all the way back to Serta, though. S2 doing a nice job to push them back out of their half. Serta goes long with it. Rogers knocked from behind there by Svensson. It's a foul on the big man.
I'm sure he's used to being on the wrong side of the whistle. Anytime you're 6'6" and 210, referees usually will not give you the benefit of the doubt. And I didn't see too much in that. Maybe their feet got tangled up there. But even so, free kick for S2.
Meredith looking to pick out White. Calistri sees it out. Throw in for S2. Malice on it quickly. White. Malice does well to get out of it. White all the way back to Nanasinkum. Still going Nanasinkum. Now has Jordy Delem. Shannon Hopi out. Forced backwards back to Nanasinkum. Just gets his touch wrong a little bit. It's a tough one. Fernandez caught from behind by Mathers. Mathers now a little bit of arguing after the foul.
Looks like it's more of a case of handbags than anything else, Aaron. Mathers knows he's going into the book for it. Just says, listen, I know I'm already getting the card. I don't need to shove me. Didn't seem to be any malice from Mathers. Just overreaching there.
So Mathers in the 76th minute goes into the book for S2. Two yellow cards for Tulsa, one for Sounders, 2. That will be Zach Mathers' 4th yellow card in the season. Of course, one more, and you serve a 1-game suspension.
That is very unfortunate for him to be at that point at this stage in the season when he's going to be so important for S2's hopes to try to make it to the postseason, especially given the current scoreline at this moment of the match.
Well, Sounders, too, certainly created a lot of chances. Mathers a big part of that. Still can change things now. Bourgeois going long. White's going to let this one skip all the way through. S2 still pushing and probing. Haven't quite picked up to the frenetic energy of the last 5 minutes creates. We are closing in on that. Here's Mathers now. Push from behind. Arthur Holtz calls a foul. Free kick again for S2.
That's Joaquin Rivas, the guilty party there on the back of Zach Mathers. Mathers may have felt pressure on his back and decided that discretion was the better part of valor in this instance. See another look here. Oh, no, he gets his legs taken from him.
To Ugarte, the goal scorer. Here's Mathers on the free kick. Lofted to the far post. Nana Sinkum was there. You know he can head those in. Nana Sinkum hits the ground, but Arthur Holt says no. Goal kick for Tulsa.
Oh, now you're seeing a lot of fingers being pointed. Players are appealing for a corner kick. The assistant referee is signaling. I'm not sure what Sounders 2 was thinking there, but it certainly looked like that ball didn't touch anyone on its way out of play.
If we take a look at it again, perhaps there's a Sounders 2 thought there was a touch off a Tulsa player and they deserved a corner kick.
Well, there's no shortage of activity in the box, that's for sure.
Tulsa. Now, of course, in no hurry to go anywhere. They'll see as much of the clock they can. Nana Sinkum sees this one away. Morales, excuse me.
Pardon me, what a difference in script from the first half to the second. S2 had so many good chances, so many opportunities. And it's Tulsa who capitalized, and here they come again.
Young on the left-hand side. He's got space, tries to put it in. Rogers sees this one away, but only as far as Kaffa. Kaffa with the chance again. Lots of time on the cross. Cuts it back, puts it on his right foot. David Olson heads this one away. Mathers does well to flick it on for Chenkum. Chenkum has Ugarte. Ugarte again defends well. Sorry. Heads it out wide to Olson. Mathers back to Olson, and this one's cut out by Ayala. Sorry, out to Delem. Hasn't roved as forward as much this half, Jordy Delem, after the first half. Here he is now, though. Rogers. Mathers, good ball from him outside to White. He has also felt a little more pressure this time, White. Steve White hasn't gotten him as many crosses as he did in the first half. Now Chenkum got Mathers running off of him. Zach Mathers leaves it for David Olson. Olson on his left. Tulsa step up. Maybe Olson took one touch too many there.
It's like we talked about with Rankin earlier, 1,000, 1,000, and just a touch too much for David Olson.
Good pressure here from S2. Malice, you know he likes to hit him from out here. Malice straight at Serta this time, but if that's going to either corner, that's in. Huge velocity on that shot from Callum Malice. Another corner for S2.
Well, that's going to do good things for S2. Look at that phenomenal contact. No spin on the ball whatsoever. Couldn't put it where he wanted to. I'll touch more on why after this corner kick.
Mathers whips this one in. Ayala gets a piece of it. Now it's headed away by Rivas. Delem goes all the way back from Meredith. Certainly that shot from Malice brings something different to Sounders too.
And it's going to bring something different to Tulsa's back line. They've been playing pretty compact the last 5 or 10 minutes here. But now that they know that they have a guy like Callum Malice who can strike a ball like that, they're going to have to press a little bit higher up the field, and that might open up something in the channels.
Throwing for S2 here. Malice getting on the ball again. It's growing into this second half. A little more offensively anyhow. Jordy Delem. Still going forward, Jordy Delem. Olson tries to play Delem back. It's a looping ball, though, easily cleared away by Tulsa. Sventesson has it knocked away by Sari. Mention it all the time, but Ray Sari is so good at just getting a toe in and breaking up that play.
For me, he's been one of the brightest spots of S2 all season long, Aaron, and the season far from over, but
absolutely,
it's been so exciting to see him evolve into his current role on this team, more than deserving to wear the captain's armband for S2.
Back to Rogers. He'll switch it over to Nana Sinkum. Sorry, of course, went to Tulsa University. Here he is now. 21 appearances this season, 21 starts for the captain for S2. As he sees this ball out to White. Now back to Sari again. Sari switches it all the way out there. Shannon Hopiau just hesitated for a second. He thought Corrales was going to get to it. S2 play their third substitution. And it is going to be Javorn Stevens on for center forward Felix Chenkum. Andrew, your thoughts on Chenkum's night tonight?
Oh, I thought he was good. He's done so much and failed to reward himself with a goal. I think ultimately you have to look at it as a positive outing for him as a player. Just that frustration of hitting those 3 gilt chances and can't turn any one of them in. And now you got Javorn Stevens, a guy who's struggled in his time with S2, particularly when he's coming off the bench. And now just 7 minutes for him to try to make something happen.
Yeah, it's a good challenge here for Stevens. Just his 7th appearance now for S2 after having that injury. Here's Sven Tessen. Calistri switching it over to Tyrjung, but getting there first is Jordy Delem. It'll be a corner, though, for Tulsa. They're 4th of the second half. So I mentioned Javorn Stevens signed with S2 back in January from Green Bay Hoppers FC in Antigua. 19-year-old's going to be looking to open up his account. What a time it would be to do that. Corner kick for Tulsa. Ayala puts it back in. Still bouncing around in there. Ugarte was there, and he's got another corner for Tulsa. They're 5th of this half.
This is where fatigue steps in. Yes, it creates opportunities if we're going to have another substitution. Looks like before this is taken.
And it's going to be Christian Tyrjung coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Jonathan Levine, getting his 2nd appearance for Tulsa this season.
Great night for Tyrjung. We didn't have a chance to give him plaudits too much. They restarted play before Tyrjung was off the field here. I'm not exactly certain what's going on.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tyrjung was on his way out, and they just played the corner in. I didn't even see it.
Well, now Tyrjung spun around. He's going to stay on the field.
Well, interesting series of events. A little surprising. S2 was watching as the shot goes over the bar. Now the substitution is being made. Tyrjung's going to come off.
Wow.
Surprising move there.
Never a dull moment at any level of soccer, but
I'm not sure how that comes about. The board was up, the numbers were up, Tyrjung was leaving. Maybe that was something off the old practice round. Well, I don't think you can do that when the 4th official has the board up. That pretty much is officially a substitute change.
A fake ball trick's a no-go in the world of soccer. My only thought is it's possible the assistant referee on the near sideline didn't see the board go up because he was focusing on the corner kick. But apart from that, that's on the job of the 4th official to get in the center's ear and go, hey, listen, don't restart play. We got a sub.
Of course. Well, if something had come of that, would have been an interesting argument from Sounders, too. There's Mathers anyways. Pass cut out. Tulsa clears it away. Nana Sinkum with Kaffa all over him. Goes back to Brian Meredith. Less than 5 minutes of the 90 to go. Maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes of stoppage time. Olsen. Ugarte instantly all over him. Jeff Arthur Holtz right there, sees nothing wrong. Kaffa goes for the little chip. Well defended. Meredith comes out and punches it away. Still Tulsa's ball. Rivas forced to turn back.
Rivas should have had to go with his first touch.
Excuse me, Andrew.
Rivas should have had to go with his first touch. Pardon my interruption there, Aaron.
Mathers striding back to chase it off Cerda. He'll find it to Ugarte. He goes long, picks out Sven Tessen. Calistri switching it all the way to Rivas. Good ball from him. Tulsa just trying to keep S2 off the ball. Levine, Fernandez, S2 chasing, they've been rewarded. Javorn Stevens, Mathers looking for him, just couldn't pick him out. Stevens now tracking. Cerda playing dangerously from the Chilean. Now he goes to clear it away. You don't see that very often. Player doing a pullback, goalkeeper does a pullback with a forward there on a 1-0 lead.
Now my only thought is that he must have seen something downfield he really didn't like.
I think at that point, head coach David Vaudreuil also would just say, just kick it out of bounds, but gets away with it. Here's Malice. White sends another cross in, looking for Olsen. Bounces over everybody. Shannon Hopiau pressuring Rivas, and his clearance just goes as far as Delem. 1-2, Delem and Mathers. Ball back to Mathers. Mathers puts the cross in. I bet he was hoping Jordy Delem would take that down and put it in for him. S2 have earned themselves a corner nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Zach Mathers there. That's a ball that Jordy Delem needs to take in and do something to challenge this back line.
Callum Malice over to take this one now for S2. This one's whipped in, heading to far post. Players were tangled up. Mathers goes down, no signal. Arthur Holtz now says, goal kick Tulsa.
And Bradley Bourgeois has words for his man there. You see it here. Zach Mathers and him get tangled up. I think Bourgeois might have a case there. You see the way that Mathers kind of throws his upper body back, puts his arms up in the air. Foul or not, that's definitely looking for contact.
Well, Bourgeois has given Arthur Holtz his opinion there. Arthur Holtz is now having a chat with him. Certainly looked like both arms, though, from both players were up, and anytime you see something like that, you never know. There's Mathers just gesticulating now about he was pulling his shirt, but call doesn't go his way. I will say Mathers does kind of look like he goes down easy. Sorry, knocks this one long, looking for Stevens. Ball bounces nicely. Stevens still on it. Is there another tug of the jersey as Steven goes down? Tulsa clear it. Rogers. Callum Malice roving forward, looking at Olsen. It's a good ball from him. Olsen's there, so is Serta. Tulsa clear it away again. Sorry. Fourth official, Ramon Mendez, with his board out there. How much time will we have left? It is 2 minutes. Hit 90 here at Starfire Sports Stadium. 2 minutes of extra time. Can S2 get one more chance here, looking for an equalizer?
Tulsa certainly going to do everything they can to avoid giving them another whiff of the ball.
Levine doesn't get that header quite right. Nanasinkum nods it back. Mathers, sorry. Little head tennis to get it out to Delem. Can he keep it? He does. Delem always comfortable in the middle as well. He played there a bit last year for S2. Rogers. Hopiau. S2 looking to create one more opportunity. Malice coming out to look for it. He's tracked this time by Calistri. Sorry has it. Whips this one out wide to Shannon Hopiau. Hopiau gets the cross in. It's a good one. Olsen's up there. So is Serta. It's punched away by the Chilean. Kaffa goes down under Sari, and it's a free kick. And you have to wonder, how different is that than the one Javorn Stevens had a moment ago? The only difference that I see, Andrew, is one was in the box and one was not.
Got to look at that one, most recent here right there. Sari has a bit of the arm tucked. May have contributed to Kaffa hitting the deck, but you know, it's just one of those cases where referees don't want to have an effect on the outcome of the game, is the phrase you often hear thrown about. Problem is the players know that, and you know, there's way too much silly stuff that is allowed to be gotten away with inside the penalty area.
Nicely done there by White, and he is fouled by Calistri. Absolutely, players at fault on both ends. Some looking for a penalty kick, others looking to get away with as much as they can, but without fouling the guy. Long ball from Meredith. Sven Tessen's back defending. Kaffa. He's got Rivas. Seconds left here. Rivas one-on-one against Nanasinkum. Can he finish it for Tulsa? It's just wide. Goal kick for Sounders too. We are now 25 seconds in. Jeff Arthur Holtz raises his arm and blows the whistle, and that is it here at Starfire Sports Stadium. And it was a close one, but it ends Seattle Sounders 2-0, Tulsa Roughnecks 1. Take a look at the game-deciding goal here. These teams meet and shake hands. It all came down on this set piece right here.
It's just a beautiful ball in from the near side from Kaffa. Great loft, and Ugarte just at the far side. That's as pretty a corner kick as you can take. Sam Rogers will be frustrated that he lost his mark there and into the hands of Brian Meredith, but that's a reaction time save. And honestly, when you are hit with a shot from inside of 10 yards, you can't really be expected to save it even if it does hit you.
Yeah, good reaction from Meredith, but you said it, a little too close. But there were some positives for Sounders too, a lot of good attacking. They just couldn't finish things off tonight, but let's talk about a debut for Steve White, the left back for Sounders too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he had a great game. He did everything you could ask of him. He did it trying to fit into a team late on, joining up and not immediately having great chemistry with the guys. It's tough to integrate because trainings are so small and controlled here with Sounders too. I was really impressed with him. I also would say Callum Malice had a bit of a shaky first half, but I really thought he played his way into the game in the second frame.
Sounders 2 were close, but not close enough. Tulsa Roughnecks pick up the 3 points here at Starfire tonight. Our final score from Starfire Sports Stadium: Tulsa Roughnecks 1, Seattle Sounders 2, 0. For Andrew Harvey, I'm Aaron Heinzen, Bootstrappers Productions. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a wonderful evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.